Hey people, interested 53 Faction War. This is Argent Shelf Redux and Tyranids versus Eldar. With a blue Tyranid team, GalbAalooz Royal is a Lictor Alpha, a melee specialist can infiltrate and disrupt, some powerful offense and a bit of support alongside two Hive Tyrants. These are durable fellas that walk through objects and cannot be suppressed, with powerful disruption and support fighting in melee combat by default with a basic synapse. I shall call you Santiago and Alvaro. Red Eldar team, Space Tendies, is a Farseer support hero fighting in melee with some powerful buffs and control, all the way DLC scheme here. Lictor Alpha does not pull her off the cap for some reason. Alongside the Tenso with a Warp Spider Exarch, a teleporting hero fighting in ranged combat. Great for capping and harassing with some powerful control. Same Han elite scheme. Rounding off the teams, Sneek is a Warlock, a melee spellcaster that leaps to the combat, some powerful disruption and support. In full white there, kind of blended into the snow. Kicking off in the mid. The two Hive Tyrants stomping on through. Is it... oh, Sapiens with nothing else on the field. Straight into Raveners perhaps. The other players with double Termagants. The two Hive Tyrants should do a lot of heavy lifting here though. Banshees on the prowl. They could be a threat early on to that Hive Tyrant. Gets a good special though as they come running in. Gaunts are out of there. And the Hive Tyrant needs to be very careful. Bunch of piercing range DPS. Power melee on the Banshees. And they might have misjudged it. Down goes the Hive Tyrant. You see the synapse backlash there on GalbAalooz Tyranids. Gaunts piling in, but they are persuaded to leave. Some good kills early on. For these Banshees, got a big chunk of XP, but have they overextended here? I think they have. Overextended the Tenso, those Howling Banshees, they had so much XP already too. Pushing through to the west side, all the Eldar, and there's triple gens up here. Can they punish that and hit those? Lictor Alpha is indeed in retreat. I am tilted, just kind of meandering around the mid with the Hive Tyrant. I guess they got rid of Sneek, who has responded with a Guardian weapon team. Warlock hasn't healed up. Rangers on the field for Space Tendies. GalbAalooz lost their Gaunts and has a Ravener Brood up. Meanwhile, Eldar heroes decapping stuff. Farseer using her fleet to get to the VP. I'll use it again actually to chase down some Gaunts. Warp Spider Exarch shooting some stuff up. Here comes the Hive Tyrant though. This is Alvaro. Ravener Brood are in with that pretty scary ranged DPS if they get out quickly enough. More Raveners here for GalbAalooz. That is the Warp Spider Exarch in the garrison. Can the Lictor Alpha get a finish there? Doesn't have the energy for a flesh hook. And I think the Warp Spider with one hit point gets away. Gonna get revive. Also have the Bioplasma accessory for Alvaro, the Hive Tyrant there. Cool to see it. More Guardian weapon teams for the Tenso, and Sneek is getting another one. These are suppression platforms by default with a Shuriken cannon. Can't suppress the big old Hive Tyrant, but it'll take a lot of damage if it gets close to it. Gaunts will be shut down here. We might see the Bioplasma on the... nope, it was a Ravener Brood Burrow Strike. Forcing melee combat there. You can get a dedicated melee upgrade for these fellas. There's the Bioplasma. Killing two models on retreat. Nicely timed. West side, meanwhile. Raveners helping them push through. A decent grenade. Got 4 models though. And the Shuriken comes in just in time from the Tenso to force off that Ravener Brood. More Howling Banshees up, by the way, for the Tenso. Immediately getting the aspect of fleetness. Double Raveners for GalbAalooz. These guys can maybe defend the power. It doesn't look like they're going after it. Maybe these Guardians will take a look. East side, turning blue for the Tyranids. The Hive Tyrant, Alvaro forcing off the Shuriken. What's Sapiens up to? Nothing yet in Santiago's war gear. Another Guardian weapon team for Space Tendies this time. Going to be 4 of them on the field. West side, still red. 2-1 for the Eldar. Farseer in on the Raveners. Guide up on those Guardians. That's a 30% range and damage increase. Farseer's starting buff that she can throw on stuff. Ravener Brood. Burrow Strike away. And that's a lot of DPS. Triple Raveners on the Farseer. Almost died pretty fast there. Had to retreat out, in fact. East side, meanwhile, kicking off. Lots of pew-pews, some grenades chucked in. Destructor thrown in from the Warlock as well. Good grenade again, got 4 models. 2 to 1 against I'm Tilted. They're on the power with 2 armies. Where is Sapiens? They were helping west side. They got the VP, but it looks like they're turning around to try and help. I don't know if they can stop this power bash though. Tier 2 for GalbAalooz and for Sapiens. Those battle equipments are doing okay so far. Some decent grenades you've seen. Lictor Alpha still sneaking around. Will be spotted, of course, by the Rangers. Led into the Shuriken. There's a flesh hook. Kills that Ranger model. Guardians getting just torn to shreds by those Devourers. Ouch. I'm pretty sure Devourers like shoot tiny little bugs at you that burrow into your flesh. So pretty grim dark, those weapons. Just burrowing in through your armor and stuff, I guess. Maybe they can find little gaps and seams. 337 to 461. This is Santiago, the Hive Tyrant, on the Guardian weapon team there. Look at this. I'm Tilted. Fully kitted out Alvaro here with Rending Talons, improved Synapse, and Bioplasma. I wonder if that means Sapiens is not going to get improved Synapse then, because it doesn't stack. Although, as you can see, this Hive Tyrant might not always be on the field. Why are these guys still here? Need to run, fellas. Now these guys are going to get away from the Hive Tyrant. They did not even get away from the ranged attacks. 337 to 458. Another Shuriken back there. Forces off Santiago, the Hive Tyrant, though. Back towards the west. Capillary Tower infestation to support this little ranged blob. Double Raveners and the double Termagants. Double Termagants don't have their toxin sacks, though. Down goes the Farseer. Lictor Alpha comes sprinting in. Talons raised, but runs into a Shuriken. Grenades. A decent nade or 2 there. These guys are retreating off. And they can't push that anymore. Warp Spider Exarch can get a revive, maybe? There he goes. Might level him to 3. Heavy Gauge Death Spinner is in. Does not level them, but they level immediately afterwards. And the Termagants just wiped there. GalbAalooz either completely forgot about the Termagants or just wanted to free up some population for more Raveners, and here they come. Well, didn't need to free up pop, but letting the Termagants die increases their requisition income because there's less upkeep to spend. Warlock with Warp Throw on the way. Haven't seen a lot from this guy on this east side, this Warlock. Almost level 2. Termagant Brood with Toxin Sacks, both of them there. Banshee's persuaded to leave. They have a little smidgen of XP. Falcon on the way for Space Tendies. That should do some really good work. Because it's 4 Ravener Broods for GalbAalooz. Nice special attack there. Getting some good models. Pretty damn good damage from these things. 75 DPS. Will tear through Guardians pretty fast. Crippling Volley on the, not Crippling Volley, Crippling Poison on the Warlock there. Gets him down, I think, maybe. 15 hit points, gets away. There's the Warp Throw. Guardians getting their shield broken. Tyranids taking the west side thanks to the level 3 Lictor Alpha now has Lone Hunter. And we see Toxic Cysts on the way. So he's going to be pretty nasty to run into if he's isolated. Gets the cap, I think, unless the Farseer gets a special note. Runs into a Falcon. There's the Cysts thing. Toxic Burst, 10 DPS, and gives him some nice regen. It's a really good piece of war gear, that, I think. Has sent their Raveners to the mid. Suddenly Webway, suddenly Banshees, and some suppression. But yeah, bad place for the Banshees, I think, with that Rending Talons Hive Tyrant right there. Those Banshees getting confused about their retreat path. Run away, ladies. There you go. Falcon is in. Some good firepower. Another one from Sneek. Good firepower on these things. And allow you to reinforce around it. Also jump inside for some transport. or to escape something nasty. Like Raveners, for example. A bunch of Raveners. Oh boy. It's all that nasty. We have a Genestealer brewed up for I'm Tilted. We'll see what they can do. They might just be largely avoided and kind of worked around. Bad news for the Banshees, I guess, if they want to try and get close. There's a warp throw. Threw them deeper into trouble, I guess. There's a Wraith Lord up as well from the Tenso. Shoulder-mounted Shuriken Cannon. Almost 46 DPS just on that Shuriken Cannon. Does have a wrist-mounted Shuriken Catapult as well. And a big old sword, of course. 285 to 415. VP lead for the Eldar. But it's not a huge one as players start to think about their tier 3s. In fact, Sapiens has gone tier 3. A little bit heavier in tier 2 for the Eldar. Trying to increase the pressure on the mid portion of the map, I think, with some heavy purchases. We've got the double Falcons and the Wraith Lord. You've got to screen the Tyranids out of your side of the map. You don't want to swarm all up on your stuff, get towers up, and apply pressure on your power. But just try and stay solid in the mid. Wraith Lord bashes a... Did he get XP for that? I didn't see. Should have. The Hive Tyrant with no war gear was chasing the Falcon down. 284 to 398. 2-1 now for Tyranids. East side. You have a Venom Cannon, anti-vehicle weapon for the Hive Tyrant. And Bioplasma going in. Good shots on the Shuriken Cannon. That did some damage. Are they path blocking this Falcon here? There's a Venom brewed up as well. I don't think it's going to get away. That was very odd. Like it couldn't move there. 284 to 293. Genestealers are going to wipe. Genestealers do indeed wipe. Lost sight of them, I guess. We now have Muscle Coil Ravener Brood, which are full on melee fellas. More health, more damage, more speed. Scary fellas. Bad news for this Shuriken. I hear Banshees yelling. Tenso does get them out of there. Banshees are yelling. Oh boy, look how far up this Wraith Lord is. What was that? That was so far up. All the way on a natural VP. Bunch of Venom brewed up now. 4 Raveners and Venom brewed for GalbAalooz, which means they are, yep, ranged Synapse. 35% more damage and 25% more health. Nasty. Nasty, nasty. Tyranids start getting those force multipliers up in tier 2 in the form of the Synapses. They can turn into big old death balls. Eldar are tier 3, while the Tenso isn't. GalbAalooz also going. I'm Tilted and the Tenso in tier 2 still. Infestation, Cavalry Tower. Helping the chase. Decent grenade. Makes them back off. Falcon needs to keep moving, I think. Back towards the mid. We have Alvaro, the Hive Tyrant, calmly trying to cap stuff, and they're pissing him off with the Shuriken Catapults. There's that Bioplasma. Here it comes. Such a long wind-up, but no attempt to move from Sneek. I guess maybe they couldn't move the Shuriken. Here's a Ravener Brood, though. There's another Shuriken back there. But they might get the kill. If they stick it out, they're going to burrow again. The burrow strike this time rather than the long-form burrow. 269 to 393. 100 VPs, 140 VPs or so in it. On the power on the east side now. Meanwhile, more Tyranids on the power, and they're bashing it quick with Venom Cannons. Node is being repurchased. Here comes all the Raveners. Look at that. Damage on the Warp Spider Exarch. And he was in melee there, so he would have had the ranged damage reduction for being in melee, I think. I assume he gets that. What's this? It's the Lictor Alpha capping some stuff. Levels to 4. Now has Feeder Tendrils. This guy got stunned by something. What was that? Oh, heavy gauge, probably. We have the Doombringer up for the Farseer. Can't effects on the way for Sapiens. Tier 3 for the Tenso. Is it Mass Seer Council time to try and get in amongst this stuff, or do you go Fire Prisms here for long range disruption? That's so risky though with all the Venom Cannons about. think maybe they should go Seer Council here. Turn some of these into Bright Lances for the inevitable Carnifexes. Lictor Alpha being very sneaky. Don't have their Rangers anymore, of course, Space Tendies. There's that Toxic Burst. And he's got the heal on hit from the Feeder Tendrils too. They were able to get inside of the Falcon. And the Farseer did grab the Western VP. She's still level 1 though. Back to the mid. Leveling up is Alvaro up to 4. Switching back to the Rending Talons. You can freely switch between all the war gear you've purchased with your hero. Just costs you some time, typically 20 seconds. I believe it's been fixed, but it used to be that the war boss switched war gear faster. I guess he's just angrier. I think he used to do it in 15 seconds, but I believe they changed that and normalized all of it. Ravenant Brood with a Burrow Strike, and there's 3 more of them to do that. Very difficult for Space Tendies to fight this. Maybe they should get the Psychic Storm up to suppress this blob of ranged stuff, eh? Falcon's doing good work, but is now under pressure from the Venom Brood. 230 to 393. Eldar becoming depleted as they get into tier 3 now. Maybe it will free up some wreck and allow them to respond faster in tier 3, but it might just put them on the back foot here. Here comes an Avatar of Cain for Sneek. Already has a D-cannon up. Seer Council up for Space Tendies. Tyranids smashing their way through the mid. Alvaro now leading the line back in their melee form. We have a Swarm Lord on the way for GalbAalooz. And Sapiens now does have some war gear, Venom Cannon and more improved Synapse. And here's your Carnifex with the Venom Cannon. Lots of burrowing just to get away, I think, yeah. And the Banshees are just going to get shot to ribbons if they stick around. Need to get out of there, ladies. 206 to 393. Tyranids on the northeastern power as well. Not looking great for the Eldar. We will see what the Avatar and the Seer Council can do. There's Time Field. That's one way to shut them down. Bad news for those Raveners. Seer Council getting in there and chopping them up. Power melee squad of Warlocks that can all leap in. And I believe their leap does power melee damage as well. Carnifex stomps away. I don't think there's any anti vehicle here. Oh, there's a Bright Lance with cracked shot on it, actually. I'm not sure if it got actual shots on. Maybe it did. It did lose some health. 206 to 370. Maybe you should be decapping, fella. Here's the Avatar. The cannon getting wrecked, though. Wailing Doom might have saved it, maybe. Maybe not. Down it goes. D-cannon is dropped. Avatar should do some decent work here. Tyranids don't really have access to Plasma or Inferno PvP weapons, ranged weapons, but they do have power melee with Gene Stealers, and they can just use Venom Cannons and stuff to shoot it down, maybe. We shall see. Avatar should be pretty good, especially with the big AoE buffs that the Avatar provides. Back to the mid. Orb Splitter X up, levels to what? To 5. Improved target is up as well. Eldar starting to get some momentum across the map. Lictor Alpha being sneaky. Look at this. Goes after the Bright Lance. Look at the damage that it's doing with Lone Hunter. That was one hit and one special attack, and it took the Bright Lance down to half health. 189 to 360. Banshees just trying to tie up the Carnifex here. Did their best. They yell and run away. This Falcon for Space Tendies has been awesome, by the way. Can't believe it's only level 1. There's Time Field. Wailing Doom comes in. Eldritch, oh no, knocked them out of the Eldritch. Completely weighted Eldritch Storm by whoever that was. Sneek, maybe? Which is weird, because that was their Avatar. Maybe they underestimated how much the Wailing Doom would knock them back there. 165 to 360 on the VP. Swarm Lord, oh, Doom up on him now. You also have the Runes of Reaping for the Farseer. Swarmlord has 2,000 hit points of vehicle armor. Powerful melee combatant that provides a speed and reinforcements in that to nearby Tyranids. Avatar has way more hit points, as you can see, but this is super heavy infantry armor, which, although strong, is vulnerable to more things than vehicle armor is. Carnifex with a Stranglethorn cannon here, but I'm tilted. Good shot on those Guardians. Oh, didn't suppress them. I think it only hit one model, and that model died. What is this? Some power bashing from the Guardians in the southeast. Fire Prism, trying to keep at maximum range, and everything's been funneled into this one spot here. Fire Prism could do some good work, potentially. Heavy gauge on the Hive Tyrant. The Tenso now taking 4 billion DPS. Gets a Synapse Backlash there. Venom Brood model must have died. 144 to 328, triple cap for the Tyranids, and they've swept across the map again. Couldn't quite keep up that momentum, the Eldar. It was very difficult for them to do. Avatar back at base healing. Another Fire Prism on the way this time for Space Tendies. The Swarmlord is back at base healing also. It's a long way on this map to get back to base. Warp Spider Exarch trying to cap. Got some late Banshees for Sneek with the aspect of strength. Here the Tenso's level up. They only got level 2. Not looking great for the Eldar. Boxed in on their own VP now. This Carnifex is very far forward. Can they punish that? I hear Banshees yelling. Just those ones, I think. Bunch of retreating Raveners and stuff from GalbAalooz. Another Swarmlord for I'm Tilted. Eldar are taking the west side. Can they outmaneuver the Tyranids here with some webways maybe? The Venom Brood will spot them all though. Seer Council and the Farseer mixing it up in melee. Strangled Thorn shuts down their movement with suppression there. Just double Venom Cannon Carnifex as it is. So that Fire Prism could be in trouble. You can using the focused blast there on the Carnifexes. That's a D cannon getting shots, and that's the Tenso's D cannon there. 144 to 242. So there's 2 Fire Prisms, a D cannon, the Seer Council on Avatar against a whole bunch of Tyranid fellas. Trying to steal this power maybe in the mid. Wailing Doom. Hits just on the edge. That Hive Tyrant there. Another Carnifex. So there's 4 Carnifexes and a Swarmlord. I guess I'm Tilted swapped what they were getting. They've got tons of red for a nuke. Maybe to stop a cap or something. Singing Spear now for the Farseer. Gives her some heavy melee DPS. Lictor Alpha back on the western VP. Some Guardians and a Falcon looking after it, but he can decap it under infiltration. The Falcon now with the shield. Energy field, they call it. Eldar trying to retake the middle of the map, but look at this. A lot of stuff. Another Carnifex on the way. And Tilted must have just queued up 2 of them. Fire Prism is almost down, being chased by the Venom Brood. D-Cannon trying to set up. Fire Prism couldn't keep the pace up and goes down. Avatar. There's the Wrath of Cain. There's so much Tyranids here though. What is this thing? It's an Eldritch. On the Carnifex. They might get 1 down. Can anything follow it up though? 1, 2, 3 to 2, 3, 3. Crack shot on some... Oh, I was on the Bright Lance. But stuff is in its face already, and there's Leech Essence from the Swarmlord. 120 to 233. They can maybe stop the cap, and they do have the west side, and they still have a VP lead. Tyranids can't lose sight of the VPs here. Another Wrath of Cain. Avatar soaking up huge amounts of damage. Down goes the Hive Tyrant. That was Santiago Sapiens Hive Tyrant. Grenade. Forces off a bunch of Raveners. Carnifex now stomping away. And this is, I'm tilted, trying to get a cap with Alvaro. Alvaro? Probably Alvaro. I don't think they're going to get it. And there's a time field. And runs in the Farseer, maybe? Nope. Thought about it. Here she goes. Fire Prism. I don't think you can chase, buddy. There's double Venom cannons here. Bright Lance now getting shots. There's crack shot now. For the range. Got some good damage there. Another Bright Lance setting up. Carnifexes, I think, should be okay if they don't get stuck or something. Ravener Brood here to harass, and the Tyranids are retaking the west side. A late Tyrant Guard pulled in by Sapiens. Cap, they say. Generally a good idea. Anything that Space Tendies can do about this, they have a... Oh, it's a lot of Venom Cannons. That Fire Prism can't hang around. Maybe get some Fire Dragons over here. They're going for some more Guardians. Help them keep up with repairs, I imagine. Could have damaged the Warp Spider. Barely teleports away. Bioplasma goes in from the Carnifex. Grenade. Keeps them back, I guess. They have got their VP. They've still got a VP lead. Almost 100 as well. We do have a webware over here. Good warp throw. Into Ethereal Slash. We have Providence up as well. Sneek has had enough of these Tyranids. And a Singularity. All these Raveners level 4 though, are pretty damn tough. 120 to 197. Worth it, says Sneek. Lost the Warlock, but had some fun. Getting revived now. There we go. Some more XP for the Warp Spider Exarch. Sneek going straight into melee again. With a power melee weapon, so the Venom Brood don't like it. Now he's freaking out and having a dance with the Avatar. There we go. Back to the west side. Eldar on it. The Eldar are on it. We got a Crushing Claws Hive Tyrant though. Sapiens. With these two scary Carnifexes. Bioplasma going in. Can they get that Hive Tyrant out of there? It's hard to target stuff when you're also just trying to move your vehicle away and survive. 1-to-1 cap. Looks like the Tyranids will get the west side. Can Eldar push through the mid while it's happening? Doesn't seem like it. There's 3 Carnifexes here from Tilted. GalbAalooz Swarm Lord putting some pressure on the west side, looks like. Can the Tyranids decap here? Triple Bioplasma? Oh man. A double was enough. Right Lance, they just haven't been able to keep up with these Carnifexes coming out. Another Fire Prism for Space Tendies. I'm amazed these vehicles are still around. With all the Venom Cannons, there was a ton of formation here. Where's the Swarm Lord gone? It's wandered into the mid. They're trying to find this webway, I think, here. If they get right next to it, they can see it. Maybe. Do Carnifexes not see anything, no matter how close they get? Oh, they knew where it was, though. They bioplasmed it. Nicely done. That was Tilted. Level 4 Ravener Brood here in melee. Got the cap single now. Something sneaky. Oh, whoops for Exarch. With a sneaky decap. Barely survived it. Tyrant Guard just kind of sitting there. You can't cap things. Those guys kind of sitting there as well. West side. Somehow turning red again. Lictor Alpha goes down. See a Council getting things done. Level 2 now. Farseer gets the cap. Got a line of vehicles. Need some repairs on the Falcon. On their natural VP though. some trouble. We've got some Wraith Guard now for Sneek. Sneek seems to have just kind of tried everything. Trying to outshoot the Carnifexes. Hive Tyrant goes in, gets a special attack immediately, despite having a Venom Cannon. Switching to Crushing Claws. That's bad news for everything in melee. Single cap for the Eldar. Can they pull this off? They've been under such pressure. Eldritch, time field into Eldritch, classic combo. Gets a stun. This Carnifex is very low as well. Needs to move away. That is a crack shot Bright Lance, but that's also a protective Hive Tyrant there. Trying to keep the Bright Lance in play. Avatar's going after the very low health Carnifex. Seems like Brood Nest does not provide health regen to Carnifexes. Okay. Biopazza from nowhere. 95 to 102. Brood Nest goes down. Wraith Guard getting torn up. And they go down too. Sneek has struggled somewhat. West side, what's going on? Somehow it's red. Seer Council carrying a hell of a lot of weight here. So is this Farseer. One of the Fire Prisms did not survive though. Oh, invulnerability's up. Which might just get a free decap here. Gets the decap, but he's going to have to run. And it's not going to be enough to get away. Lictor Alpha's hanging out here. Being all sneaky-like. Oh, these guys run? Why did they retreat? I don't know what happened there. What were they trying to retreat? Not sure. 85 to 93. It's so close. Eldar put up a hell of a fight here. Against this Ravna block, which is scary as hell. Banshees are still around. Look at that. Doing some good work, ladies. Avatar got back to base, I believe. Banshees are not going to get away. 85 to 84. VP lead now for the Tyranids. Here's some Dark Reapers for the Tenso. Good Bioplasm hit on the Fire Prism. D-Cannon trying to set up. Maybe he can stop a cap or something. Shuriken falls. 85 to 74. Eldar have the west side, but I don't know if they can get a natural back. This might be it. Walks by Exarch doing some good damage. And there's the heavy gauge. Filament. Can you get a kill on that Venom Brood? Doesn't seem like they care. Eldritch. Oh, it's wasted. Couple of nukes they've wasted now, the Eldar. For the damage the Warp Spider took there. Couldn't even get a decap. Another Fire Prism for Space Tendies. Seems to like their vehicles on that west side. They've done well with them so far. Done well with them so far. GalbAalooz. Can't do much about them, I guess. Does have the Venom Brood, but doesn't have any of those Carnifexes. Although Sapiens sure does. I'm tilted with 3 Carnifexes into a Swarmlord now. 1-to-1 cat. Big old flank here for GalbAalooz. Going to be 2v1 against Space Tendies. Everything coming down the stairs. That's good nuke bait right there, but nobody can drop one. Time field. Got 2 vehicles fall. And they're going to get this VP back, I imagine. Farseer, not much she can do. All in a lonesome. They're getting a natural back though. I guess it's because they abandoned it to get the west side. I don't think... Maybe they didn't need to send everyone here. 2-to-1 now for the Eldar again. Tyranids are not managing their map well. Over-invested on that west side push just then, I think. I believe Sapiens on their own could have handled that with their Carnifexes. Level 8 Hive Tyrant, I'm tilted. with bonded exoskeleton, 1777 hit points. With the invulnerability, of course, goes for the decat. Warlock's after him. 2-1 for the Tyranids, down to 17 VPs. The Eldar Avatar still around. And here comes another Wraith Guard for Sneek. GG, says the Tenso. Double cap now. That's going to be it. Tyranids take it. Had the upper hand for most of the fight. Eldar did an amazing job to hang on as long as they did. Lictor Alpha, with tons of resources, was level 5. Had the menacing visage at the end. We had a level 4 and a level 8 Hive Tyrant. Farseer level 5. The Tenso level 7. And Sneek, who struggled a bit, but gave it his best shot. Level 4 at the end. There you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Big thanks to these guys for taking part in a faction war. And for the Tenso for sending it in. And no doubt organising lobbies and that kind of thing. Action shot there for the Hive Tyrant at the end. I'll see you next time.